What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, I was asked about Chris Eubanks Sr. in his weird video. Did I see it? Yes, I really wasn't going to speak on it. But there's really nothing going on in boxing at the moment, which I have another video of that I spoke about that from the events this weekend. Y'all can check it out. But yeah, I saw the video. It was weird to me. I always thought Chris Eubanks Sr. was a bizarre, very eccentric type person, definitely different. I didn't really think much of the video. It felt like watching like a professional wrestling promo. They have some weird character that just sits there and is just talking weirdly, snarling. He was literally snarling, showing his teeth with angry facial expressions to the interviewer and staring at him weirdly, just weird, just weird. Talked about a lot of regret, going broke, had, hundreds of thousands of dollars in parking tickets and weird, just saying like he was just talking about things, but he was acting very weird. So basically his own arrogance, his own ego got the best of him coming up. Like he said, he had to let them know that the king was here, and if he didn't, they wouldn't know, and just a lot of stuff he was saying. He didn't have time to learn the rules and all this. I always thought he was weird, honestly. So I really didn't think much of it. I just felt like, he was trying to get attention to himself for whatever reason. I don't know. When you watch a wrestling promo, you think, who the hell talks like that in real life, right? And then you see him doing it in real life. It's like, yeah, cameras in front of him. It's an interview. A lot of people are saying it's because he lost his son last year. I don't know how you equate that it is because of his son. I mean, he mentioned his son in the interview, losing his son and things like that. But I don't know how you say that that's the reason. I mean, we've seen many videos, many interviews with Chris Eubanks Sr. since that time. It's been like a year ago, right? So he hasn't acted like that. I don't know how it's just all of a sudden that's the reason he's hurting because he lost his son. Well, I mean, you're always going to miss that person and not here. Yeah, I get that. I mean, but when have we ever seen him act like this before? More recently, last month when his situation happened with his son and Connor, the fight not going down because Connor failed the drug test, and he sent Eddie Hearn a message. You remember that weird message? Eddie, you tried to murder my boy. I'm coming for you, Eddie. That, who knows? I mean, that was weird. But again, I don't know how people just come to the conclusion that it's all because of his son last year, that he lost his son. He's acting very weird. And if you really feel, that beat down in life, that battered, that worn out, because of the death of your son, then you don't do an interview. If that's the case, he, if anything, he spoke about his brother as well, and spoke about how his brother wasn't there supportive of him. He was trying to appease his brother and things like that, and that's why he became a fighter. And he talked about a lot of things. But I just thought it was just Chris Eubanks Sr. being Chris Eubanks Sr., just doing some weirdo type stuff. I mean, I don't understand the significance of the interview overall, only just on the side of him explaining things about himself and who he was, and like him saying he had all these outstanding parking tickets. He had to let them know the king was here. If he didn't do those things, then they wouldn't know, and how he didn't have time to learn the rules. And he just said a lot of stuff, but it was really weird. And if you saw the so-called victory dance that he did, it was weird looking. He was making weird ass facial expressions while he was doing his little victory dance or whatever, and I just didn't think much of it, other than it was just Chris Eubanks Sr. just doing some weirdo stuff. Pretty much. I mean, what's going to come out of this, other than people talking about the video, I don't know. Again, I don't understand the significance of his behavior. Like when you're snarling and showing your teeth to someone like a freaking canine, and he's making angry expressions at the guy, and like I said, I mean, who does that? Who does that? Don't ask me such questions, and I can't answer with it. Just weird. He was just acting really weird. He was being rude at times. It was. I mean, I remember the time him being asked a question, how he look away, look at the camera. It just looked weird, man. And along with looking like a wrestling promo, it also reminded me of, like, you see movie like with Hannibal Lecter or something, right? Where here's some highly intelligent guy either in a prison or in an insane asylum or something, and someone's going to interview them to get the full story of why, what happened, this, that, and the person is talking in parables and or just acting weird, but they use their mental prowess to do wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just had that weird. It was just weird, and when I watched it, I'm just sitting there and like, okay, what the hell did I just watch? I don't understand what this connects to, and just to say that it's because he lost his son, then it was the interview itself. It didn't even have to be. That could have been a separate interview, and he didn't even have to mention his son. He did, but I mean, it would be. I mean, that's not something you really want to dwell on. And if you want to talk about that, you do it in a different manner, not snarling and showing your teeth to people and looking like a crazy person, because that's what he looked like. And like if I had his number, I'd have, hey, Chris, you look stupid right now, right? What are you doing? Because that's, I didn't think much of it. But again, like I said, I don't know how people equate this all to just, it's because of his son. It's because of his son. That's all. Like, he talked about way more than just his son. He talked about, like I said, his own arrogance, his own ego. Why he ended up in the situation he was in, and why he ended up broke, and all of these things. I don't understand, the whole, it was his son only, but whatever. Yeah, I saw it. And again, I didn't think much of it. I just felt like it was Chris Eubanks doing some unusual, usual for him, not so much to that degree, but just some more bizarre behaviors, because he's always been a bizarre person. Even his train of thought, sometimes he said things and I'm like, what? Okay. He just says a lot of things. But anyway, I just think it was Chris doing some weirdo stuff. What's supposed to happen after this interview? Anyway, talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.